Hey everybody, it's the Abstractionist. I'm doing a series of videos. It's been like a month, so yeah. I'm gonna pop in, do some videos, and then pop off for another month. So I've done like 4 readings. This is the last one. This is gonna be for the Chinese zodiac. I didn't do it last year. Did I? No, I didn't do it last year. This year, I learned that Chinese New Year is going to be in January and not February. Interesting, interesting. We got cards coming up already. So I decided to do this one because this year it's the, I forget what one it is. I believe it's the snake. I forget. I feel like it's the snake, but I forget which one it is. I think it's the wood snake. Hold on. Let me like look it up. Year of the. It's the wood snake. The wood snake. Okay. So I actually decided to use, I believe this person is Chinese, Jia Sung's Trickster's Journey tarot deck. So it's more like Chinese, like it's just my, so I decided to like use it. Anyway, so it's the year of the wood snake, year of the snake, which I think is an extension of dragon energy, dealing with transmutation, stuff like that. I'm a water rooster, so it has fucking nothing to do with me. So let's kind of see what this wood snake is doing. Let's see what this wood snake is doing. I'm thinking of like a puppet or something like that. Like I know they do the festivals with the snake and stuff like that, but I'm just thinking of like mechanical stuff, like the mechanics of things, understanding the mechanics of things, understanding what causes something to work, or like the overall system in which things work will help. The overall environment in which they work, or they thrive, or they are developed, or they come about would be helpful for someone. Learning the origins of why things start would be very helpful. I don't know if like being informed this year is like, it has to be like we have to be informed this year. I mean every year, but like this year especially, for some reason the wooden snake, like something that popped up about like enemies and stuff, like, you know, the snake, keep your enemies close. But I kind of feel like, especially with the ban with TikTok in the US, and then like it bring it back, and then like I just saw like an extension on it for 75 days. I don't know if like the idea of information being set in stone or lack thereof, meaning the extreme fluidity in motion when it comes to info, like if that'll have an impact. And being like having to trust or distrust or whatever where you can get something about that. Anyway, you have the star. It is going to occur in Aquarius season. We have the Chariot. And then we have the Ten of Swords. So something is going to like end. I don't know if it's a certain, like with the snake, I kind of also feel like societies, and with wood, I always feel like something old. I was just also watching a video of like cedar trees, and she was like, yeah, they can live up to like 2,000 years. And there's this tree in Japan, it's like, they say it's like 7,000 years old. And you know, like in Cali, there's like these whole like really, really old trees over there. And so I don't know if we're gonna see the breaking down of certain like societies that have a lot of, that have certain like what people's roots are like really wrapped up in these things. So the idea of like legacy and stuff like that within like public institutions perhaps could be like something significant that gets, I don't want to say exposed or something like that, but like is brought into question. The ability for social mobility could be like something that comes up as well. In order to move between social standings, and I'm not saying it just for class, there could be a total collapse that happens for people for this to happen. And it doesn't have to mean money, but it could be a total collapse within money to like start over to then jump into this other class, or something like that. But I think surprisingly, I don't get an ultra like distrust or mistrust of things. It's almost like there doesn't need to be a mistrust or a favoritism with regards to these things. Like, it's almost like the more practical, can we move forward with this, is a question that comes up. And if we can't move forward with this, then there's no point in letting it go forward, and let's just nix it. So I wouldn't be surprised if certain institutions just collapse or end. And the reason is that it's no longer economically feasible. It's just no longer feasible as a business or as an organization, or like whatever social ill they were trying to deal with, for some reason doesn't exist in the same form, that when they started it, they were trying to combat it in that form. And now that form has changed, it's almost like they've made themselves obsolete. But it's not. But I think this is also like people aren't, and organizations aren't becoming obsolete because like they've solved the issue, they've changed the issue or something like that. Like, it's shifted form, and this is a time of growth and development, I think. And the wooden snake, I think, if you're wrapped and rooted in like a lot of things that aren't adaptive, you could be left kind of like behind when things shift, and as a result, you aren't going to be able to like solve issues. So I think this is a great time, like I said, for people who deal with the mechanics of things, because I feel like if you deal with the mechanics of things, you'll be able to figure out shifts pretty easily. Two of Swords. There's a cute cat. And then we have the Sun. I think you'll be able to fill out things a little bit more. These are not the best cards for like doing this. They're very thick. So kind of like, yeah. Okay, well this one came back up. It's the 10 of coins. Wait, okay. 10 of coins. So I think that there's money to be made on the basis of being adaptive. There is money to be made also on the basis of who you know, on the basis of your social connections, on the basis of people liking you and willing to help you out because they know you. Like, if people know you and they know your work, they will be willing to help you. And so if you are known for having a sharp mind and being a thinker, this will be really helpful for you. If you want to be a part of a society or something like that, and I'm thinking about this for myself, if you want to join some sort of society or whatever, you may be able to like get into there more easily this year. Societies where like, yeah, you do need to know something. With Temperance, your own desire, I feel like your desire to compete is not necessarily like ultra high. 8 of Coins, it's more about stability and rocking the boat. May not be as helpful this year for Wood Snake. And I'm talking about people who like the Wood Snake is like a major like energy force for them. So it may not be a major energy force for you. It could be for someone else, but it may not be for you. Anyway, you have the 5 of Wands. And we're going to wrap this up. The Knight of Coins. And the Page of Cups. Additions to family trees will bring out a few issues that need to be hashed out with regards to stability. There's a changing of the guard that's happening that needs to be explored and taken care of and prepared for some reason. I think younger people entering established institutions may find a little bit of an issue integrating into these places. So like the wood snake to me is like very establishment type things where like there's a certain expectation of how you should move and should act, and you know that going in, and there's some people who are not a part of that are gonna maybe have a harder time. But for the most part, it seems like the people that are moving already are aware of these things. So like it's like not nepo babies, but it's people who are raised in these environments where they would know how to act. Yeah, like they would know how to act. So someone who comes, you don't have to come from wealth, but someone who comes from a family of like doctors, they would know kind of like, even if they don't know in terms of it's their profession, they would know how this thing functions. And they may even know through talking with people in this established like thing within their family, right? They would have a solidified view of like this environment. They would kind of know the ins and outs of the environment without having been in the environment. And should they choose to go into this place, they're at an advantage because they already know what to expect, right? They already know how doctors are. They already know how nurses are. They're getting firsthand experience for themselves, but it's like the mentorship and the people who are within their family, within their community, their environment, gave them the understanding of the basics and the mechanics, and have the basics and the mechanics of the environment so that they're more prepared. So the wood snake teaches you to be more prepared via, I guess, the idea of nepotism, the idea of establishment. So certain people are, I guess, at a very big disadvantage if they do not have connections that are affiliated with anything that they're trying to get into, or anything considered establishments. And there may be certain things within your own spirit that see. Did the double card come out again? I saw the double card at some point 2 seconds ago. I shuffled it back in the deck. I shouldn't have. Anyway, but that establishment is still there. So Pluto and Capricorn is still there for a little bit, and I feel like this wood snake, even though it's not from the same kind of energy, like the same kind of system, is clearly like an Eastern system, it still is giving us some of the lessons from like the more Western astrology system of Pluto and Capricorn establishment type things. I think we're gonna have a few more years of these things popping up, and there will be a transition point. I think 5 years with Pluto into Aquarius of what can we use from this old system of Pluto and Capricorn, because people like to shit on Pluto and Capricorn, but what were the lessons that were learned that help you actually navigate Pluto and Aquarius and see some of the BS counterculture that came up against Pluto and Capricorn that really should be destroyed, or reevaluated and reassessed, right? What was just merely a reaction to what was going on in there, and what were the motives of some of the people who established these counter kind of culture, counter claims, counter ideas. And I'm not saying an attack on like alternative facts or something like that. I'm just saying, like, you know, because there's just something about that people need to be aware of. Anyway, any other major message card? Now we can wrap this up, and I can just like do my other like videos. 3 of Coins and the Hierophant. There's a low barrier entry into this Hierophant realm. I don't know why you have 10 of coins, because it may cost you more and more and more, and by the time you get in, you won't realize that it does cost you a lot. It costs you a lot of energy. So you'll be able to timeline hop, particularly with regards to status and stuff like that, but it will be a little bit more of you have to really this deck messing up. Okay, you'll really have to put in the energy to do it, and I cannot refill that amount of life. So that's all that I have for this video. The Wood Snake 2025 that's happening next week. So that's about it. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.